So today I made $64,000. Now here's the thing. I actually took about 5 trades. All 5 of them were green. And my whole goal of this making this video, because yesterday I made a video and YouTube didn't like the video because I a little bit spoke a little bit too much truth. Uh, and they took the video down, whatever. So I'll do the video again and I'll be careful with the words. But hey, if you pay attention, this is gonna be too much sauce. All right. Today I made about nearly 65K and I took 5 trades. All 5 were green. Let me break the strategy down so you can do this on your own. It's an education video. All right, fam. So let's break this down. The first thing that I want to break down is that you need to know how to trade, which stocks to pick. If you pick wrong stocks, man, doesn't matter how long you've been trading, doesn't matter what's the fancy stuff that you want to do, you will not make money. So you need to know which stocks to pick while you're trading, right? So let's break this whole thing down. Now, first things first, I took the trade on Meta. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make this 6 charts. All right, we'll make this 6 charts and let me refresh these charts. Now, this is how I roughly trade when I'm trading for the day. Now, what happened basically was I'm watching this market, right? And let's go on the replay and we pretty much will go where the market opened. I can show you why did I pick Meta as my first trade on the day. Now, this is Meta, as you can see right here. Now, what's happening here? If you pay attention to the charts, what's happening? Market's about to open. A lot of names on the market has already started moving towards the downside. So clear signs that we have some sort of sellers in the market. Let's see what happens. Now, we do not take a trade right at the market open. The people who take trades right at the market open are people who gamblers. What we like to do is we like to wait for some solid entry for me to take a trade. Otherwise, I'm not trading, bro. I need a solid entry. And what defines an entry? Let's have a look. So what happened? We made a big move on everywhere across the board. Look at this. Meta made a big move towards the downside. We have Amazon moved up, sweet. Nvidia made a big move towards the downside. We have this AMD that made a decent move towards the downside. SPY kind of bouncing. QQQ is making a move towards the downside. Now this simply tells us that there's some names that are moving down, but this doesn't tell us anything as well. If you pay attention to this, only names that you need to pay attention to, which names are breaking the pre-market low. We have Meta breaking the pre-market low. Amazon hasn't broken. SPY hasn't broken. QQQ is breaking the pre-market low. Sweet. Now what we're doing is we are pushing towards the next candle. Okay, what happened? A lot of names bounced. Why did Nvidia bounce so heavy if it was weak? Why did Amazon reject so heavy? That means Amazon's still choppy, Nvidia still choppy. We have QQQ still trying to push towards the downside. We have SPY and QQQs, they have a divergence right now. That means SPY is pushing towards the upside, QQQ is pushing towards the downside. But at the same time, when I looked at this chart on Meta, it kind of like, okay, Meta is the only name which didn't reject the heavy. Like, even though green candles are pushing on SPY, even though QQQs made a big green candle initially and then it turned around, Meta is the only name which is kind of still looking weak. Why? Because they opened at 636, made a move down to 628.86, then tried to bounce, but the bounce is super small. Okay, what next? Let's pay attention. Meta tried to push again, little bit of a bounce again, and now I'm watching this Meta. I'm like, okay, let's see, this looks interesting. Why does it look interesting? QQQ still going down, everything's still going down. Now you need to see if there's any sort of a confluence in the market. How do you calculate confluence? What you need to do is you need to grab your Fibonacci, put the Fibonacci at the highest point of the day to the lowest point that we have in the market. Has it touched 0.5 Fibonacci? If it touches 0.5 Fibonacci, then the play is usually very weak. I don't want to trade something that touches 0.5 Fibonacci and then going down like this slow. I want to take a trade which rejects quick. I don't want to play around, bro. I want to take a trade which rejects quick. So Meta became one of those names that came on my watch list. Why? I made a big move even in the pre-market. It's nicely trendy towards the downside. It's looking good on a bigger time frame. Like when you look at a 5-minute time frame, this is on a 2-minute. By the way, I watched 2-minute chart for the first 30 minutes of the market open. I'm watching this, everything looks good, and I'm like, okay, this looks really, really good. So what did I do? I simply went and I called out a trade. Because this is how I trade every day. I went and I called out a trade in my chat. I said, okay, I was on the voice and I was also on the Zoom screen share as well. I said, Meta for LTP puts look good. Meta looking nice. This is a strategy that I watch. Okay, let's see how it goes. And called out the exact put trade that you need to be taking. Now, there's a level that we have watching, this 630 level. If 630 breaks towards the downside, it looks really, really nice. The next level could be this next levels that we have on the charts. It looks really, really good. Now, what happened? Boom, we in the trade. Now, if you pay attention to everything else, Meta is the only name which was holding the Fibonacci's. What happened on AMD? Now, AMD did bounce, But AMD had a 200 moving average on an hourly chart sitting right at the bottom. When 200 moving average on an hourly chart sitting there, man, you don't essentially want to take a trade right there. And also, it touched the 0.5 Fibonacci's if you pay attention. If it touched the 0.5 Fibonacci's, to me, my strategy says if it touches 0.5 Fibonacci, it's not as weak. So out of everything that you see at the pullback entry that we got is Meta. You understand what I'm saying? Nvidia no, Amazon no, SPY no, QQQs no. Meta's the only name which pulled back and made this beautiful flag at the bottom, and we took the trade. Now I'm sitting in this trade. It can get down to the next level that I'm watching on my charts. So let's hide my drawings and pay attention to this indicator drawings, because this is my personal indicator that I have. It's just literally, it's the indicator that I've built for myself. It marks the levels and everything for you. And the levels work insanely good. Now the profit taking going to be the first level. So we took some profits and it's still pushing towards the downside while I was also in this trade. And I'll keep talking about this trade. If you check the daily chart on a daily time frame, daily chart looks like this. What happened? A big move happened, a little pullback, made a little flag at the bottom right here. As you can see, made a beautiful flag at the bottom. And now I'm like, okay, this will look nice if it can get down to 620. Why 620 though? Where am I getting 620 level? 620 level is coming from my indicator level. You understand what I'm saying? It can get down to 620. What happened? It took a minute. I don't know what happened there, man. Anyway, it took a minute, but it got down to my 620 mark and we took profits. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful trade. It gave multiple entries. Same thing, bro. It gave multiple entries. Check this out. The 5 minute, this is another entry that it gave, 5 minute. Then it gave another entry at the VWAP reject. It gave multiple entries for you on the day. And guess what? We took multiple entries and we made a lot of money. And it went all to all the levels. Now, you might be like a little bit confused. Like, yeah, man, it's easy to say after the fact. No, it's not easy to say after the fact, bro. It's just that you probably are watching or you do not have patience to wait for the play. Now, out of all the names that we were trading, Meta was the only name that was pushing towards the downside. Now, at 10 o'clock, what did I say? At 10 o'clock, I switched the time frames. And I go on a 5 minute chart. It was just still looking absolutely sexy. Look at this. We are switching the time frames. This is 10 o'clock. What did we do? We switched to 5 minute chart. As soon as 10 o'clock hit, look at this 10 o'clock candle. It made a beautiful flag. It made a reject and we jumped in. And guess what? Fibonacci level say it was touching the 0.382 Fibonacci level as well. It made an absolutely sexy move towards the downside. You understand what I'm saying? And now you need to know the level, the numbers that I'm watching for Fibonacci. These are the numbers that I'm watching for Fibonacci, all right? I'll draw the Fibonacci here and I'll show you the settings for the Fibonacci. Please make sure you're watching the same settings. This says the numbers. Anything else, you're doing wrong. All right, this is too much sauce, but hey, I want to help you out, bro. I want you to enjoy the life. I want you to show the life to your parents, your family, the life that is possible that I was able to show. I came from nothing, bro. So this is my way of I'll put all the sauce out there. And yes, you can trade live with me, every single day. And for that, it takes my personal time. It's a mentorship program. So you have to check the first link in the description box below. But my free content can get you started. My paid content, which is 1,000,000 times better, it will literally get you making money. That's what we're doing. You understand what I'm saying? Now, essentially what's happening, Meta is absolutely beautiful move. While we were on Meta, while we were still waiting for this shit, we are waiting for, I also called out this Tesla play. I was like, oh yeah, Tesla will look good. This is a trend line that we are watching. I didn't take this trade, but hey, you can see this Tesla, look at this, made a big move. I couldn't take this trade. I didn't take this trade because there's a couple things that I was not liking about this. But then I took a AMD play. I was like, pretty much, I came along, I'm like, okay, AMD looks good. Why? Holding the Fibonacci, is making a beautiful flag at the bottom. I decided to, and this is a 2 minute chart as well, by the way. So if you go on a 2 minute chart, you'll see, look at this. It made a beautiful move towards the downside. And guess what? We took the play towards the downside and we had a level that we were watching at 244 initially. Yeah, 244. And then the next level, if you hide my levels, next level was this 243.3. Hey, all the levels went exactly according to how we were watching. And this simply goes to the fact, and it made even bigger move towards the downside. And the moment you go on a 5 minute chart, because 10 o'clock you go on a 5 minute chart, it gave another entry right there. And guess what? It gave another entry holding the Fibonacci's, gave you a pullback, went back, retested the level that we were watching. What happened? That becomes another entry and we added to the trade. And guess what? Check this out. Boom. It went to the next levels that we were watching. And it went down to the next levels, I believe. Look at this shit. Bro, this is how you trade. You do not let your brain take over. You simply wait, you find a strategy, you wait for the strategy, and you keep executing the same strategy. Same strategy we execute on AMD. And this aged well. I just showed you the photo. Look at this. This is photo. This is a 2-minute chart. And it aged really, really well. You see what I'm saying? Exact what we're watching, what needs to happening on the chart. And then I started watching this. I'm like, okay, basketball setup on SPX can really, really pay. If you can't afford it, do SPY. You understand what I'm saying? Now, what contract I'm watching? 6770 calls look good. No entry yet. Need some momentum so to slow first. Okay, so essentially what happened on SPX, we are watching basketball setup. Now, what's basketball setup? You might ask. Basketball setup is essentially, you're going to mark every $50 mark on your charts. That means 6800, 6850, 6900. You mark all the $50 marks. And the second thing that you need to do is you need to mark +2 or -2. That means it becomes a zone. That means 6850, if that's a level, +2 and -2, that'll be a zone. That means 6852 down to 6848. So this becomes a zone. If the prices are coming into this, momentum slowing down, and the prices are coming into this from further away, it can bounce. And that's essentially what we did. Look at this play. I'm like, momentum needs to slow down. If the momentum slows down, we are going long. And that's a play. You see what I'm saying? Momentum needs to slow down first. And let me show you what happened on SPX. We are waiting for momentum to slow down. What I'll do is I'll literally hide the indicator that I have, as I told you, KCU indicator. I'll hide the indicator and we will have a look what's happening. Pay attention to this. Okay, it's pushing towards the downside. I have a level set up right here, and I'll show you what it means when I say momentum needs to slow down. If you go on a 2-minute chart, check this out. What happened? The candles are looking so weak, but all of a sudden, exactly in my zone, there's some sort of wicks happening at the bottom. What is the implication of this wick? This wick is simply telling you that there's some sort of buyers coming in. Some buyers push the price up, some sort of buyers push the price up again. Because if the sellers were pushing the price down, the candles will be red like these. But now we have some sort of buyers to come along, and buyers only come when they see some sort of a level which can be held. You understand what I'm saying? And also, now I'm watching this, I'm like, okay, this looks absolutely beautiful. You know what? I'm about to go long. If it reclaims 6750, I'm going to go long. It reclaims 6750. I went long, and my target is simply 6760-ish. Why am I targeting that? You understand what I'm saying? Why am I targeting that? Because I'm also watching SPY's chart at the same time. SPY 674 is the level that we had, which is coming from a couple of days ago. If 674 hits, or even not just 674, even yesterday's low sitting right here, 674.2, because that's a critical level. If it breaks below it, it can come back and retest this critical level. What happened? It went back, touched the critical level, I jumped out. Bro, it's a scalp, literally a scalp. Check this out. It's just a scalp. Meta and AMD both are 60%. Sweet. In small size, SPX2, too risky. I don't see any confluences, because there was no confluences when it comes to other critical levels, or no 200 moving averages. None of that stuff was sitting there. So I was like, yeah, small size, 250 per contract. Sweet. And then AMD, Meta, they all went up big time. Anyway, this is the play. And then I took another play, which is, then it bounced off this level. Check this out. It made a little bounce, and it went to the VWAP. Check this out. SPX went to the VWAP from this. It absolutely paid. It touched the VWAP. Now VWAP becomes a solid. Now let me explain what VWAP is. VWAP simply means VWAP is the indicator that you need. Just go here and search VWAP, volume weighted average price. Just click on it. You will see this green thing back on your screens. What you need to do is you need to change the settings. Turn everything off first. You need to change this 1 minute to I think 15 minutes. That's it. And then you need to go to style. Change the color to white, because it's a very important. Make it a little bit thick. Turn the upper band off, lower band off, band fill off, everything off. Now go input. Make sure you have this click, hide VWAP on 1 day, or anchor period is session, and your source needs, sometimes the source will select wrong source. Make sure the source is H plus L plus C divided by 3. Once you have the offset 0, everything else is off. Time frame, you can keep the same. Input value, you can keep the same. Click OK. You see what I'm saying? Now I have 2 lines, because that's exact settings that I have for my VWAP as well. Now what happened? Now what's VWAP? VWAP simply means volume weighted average price. Hence VWAP. Okay, VWAP. VWAP, volume weighted average price. What does that mean? That means based off the volume that we have in the market, volume, VWAP right here. That means based off the volume, if you pay attention to the volume weighted, that should be the average price. If you pay attention to the volume, that should be the average price of the stock at that given time. So now, what happens if your mother gave you $200 to go buy some groceries, and you have $200, you go buy groceries, and you go to expensive store, and you come home and she gave you a full list, and you come home with literally 3 cucumbers for $200? Your mother's gonna smack you. Why? Because you paid above average price. That's not how much you need to pay for it. You're paying above average price. Same thing happens when you're working for a hedge fund as well. They have an average price, which is VWAP. When you pay above average price, when you sell below the average price, you get punished by your bosses. If line is here and you need to buy something, you need to buy not above the line, you need to buy at the line. That's what their rules say. If you need to sell something, do not sell cheaper. Sell average. You need to sell your phone. Why would you sell it for 200 while you know you can get 500 for it? This is the average price. So you need to sell at the average. So what they do is the smart money will always wait for the prices to come down to the VWAP. If it's coming from the top, it can act as a strong support. It can bounce. If it's coming from the bottom, it can reject. Now, sometimes it doesn't reject exactly at the VWAP. It'll bounce off a little bit above it. The goal is the smart money cannot keep buying something here or keep selling something here. They need to wait for the prices to come closer to the VWAP. You understand what I'm saying? So what happened? Now the prices have already made such a huge move toward the downside. Prices came to the VWAP right here, and that's exactly where I went. Pop. Let me short this. Why? Because a lot of these people who cannot sell here, they need to sell here. Why sell the iPhone for cheaper while they can sell for 500? But when the prices come to 500, all the people want to sell at 500. What happens? That increases the selling pressure right there. The selling pressure starts increasing at that price. When selling pressure starts increasing, prices can come down. So that's essentially the play that I'm taking. I'm thinking that prices can make a new low of the day or just touch the new low of the day. What happened? It paid absolutely fucking beautiful. It went from like $7 to like $20. The contracts went from, because it's a $50 drop or $40-$50 drop. What an insane move. You understand what I'm saying? Once you understand the concepts, once you understand how to trade, once you understand the reasoning why to trade, once you understand overall picture, how this overall game works, bro, it becomes way easier. And that's literally what I'm trying to preach right now. I don't just talk, bro. I walk the walk, and that's why I talk the talk, right? I walk the walk, and that's why I'm able to talk the talk, because I take these same trades, and it's not just me who's absolutely enjoying the life. All my people are making a lot of money as well, and that's literally my flex. And if you check, again, we'll go back to this right here. And if you don't believe me, bro, this is literally what's up. I mean, pay attention to this. I am in Australia right now, so the timing is market opens at 12:30 at night. But just pay attention to this right now. All these people making 700 to 300. Check this out. 4,000 on the week, 1,500. And I can keep on going. This is literally the flex. I can keep pushing. Everybody printing. Why? If I wasn't as good as what I'm saying I am, do you reckon these people will be printing? Clearly not, right? So these people are making money because they are able to see my screen. And now if you want to watch my screens every single day while I'm day trading live, man, just check the first link in the description box below and let's make it happen. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm out. Peace.